My name's Jack, welcome back to my channel. We're doing an update on what we've been up to before Christmas, and I've been in touch with a company in the States that's asked me to build a VMware box where they can migrate their old network onto a current new system. They've got currently 3 quite good servers, but they're badly installed, or there's some issues with them anyway. So we thought we'll consolidate these 3 machines down into one decent bit of kit, and we'll run VMware on it, so we'll run virtual environments, and then the servers they can sell on, get their money back, and then also put that towards a second box building the same sort of thing. So hopefully, I think it's water cooled. It's not 100% sure. I have to get them to send me some photographs. So if you are watching this update, send me some photographs of your PC inside and out to show us what it looks like. But it's something similar to this, so it's going to be a fantastic bit. Most expensive, well, I wouldn't say the most expensive, but the more core AMD chip or Intel. Intel's more expensive than AMD. Lots and lots of RAM has been installed, and obviously we've got SSD drives. I do believe they're Samsung drives he had before. The original was going to do an upgrade on his existing hardware, so I said nope, we'll use those drives in a RAID format in this new box. This new box has multiple network cards, so we can team them up within the virtual environments, and we've created quite a few, created up to 3 virtual environments. I'm looking at least creating 4. So we've got disk space to hold in virtual environments. We've got SSD drive, which is read and write speeds are very high, so we can get them loading really fast, running nice and quickly, and signing some percentage of the CPU towards each VMware, and assigning dedicated RAM to each of the VMware environments as well. So we should have then super fast VMware, which we have. So I would say super fast virtual servers. So hopefully you've got something similar to this in front of us. And this is what we've got. So this is the actual VM workstation. So that server is running Windows 10. So this is Windows 10 itself. And we'll just have a quick nose at the spec. So 2 secs. Just get a shortcut to the spec. I think it's this one here. Properties, and there we go. So Windows 10 Pro we've got installed running on there. It's an AMD process, a 9590 chip, 8-core processor. So we've got 8 cores. In theory, every core we can sort of dedicate it to a virtual environment. So it's got like a bit like a dedicated part of the CPU, and because it obviously has got cores inside, we can sort of like, you get virtual cores, so you can assign 1 or 2 and stuff. This has 32 gig of RAM installed, so it's plenty of RAM for a virtual environment. So I've broken that down over the 3 virtual servers. We can assign less to one and more to the other as we go. 64-bit, and it's a standalone machine, which doesn't need to be part of the network at all, because it's just running standard Windows 10. That's all we need it to run. We'll turn off all the power consumptions off, so it doesn't power save, doesn't turn the drives off, because obviously you can't do that if you're running a virtual server environment. So then what we've done is we installed we've installed VMware Workstation Pro on top, which is this puppy here. Get the right window up, and this is VMware Workstation Pro 12. It comes in around about sort of £200. I can't remember what that's in dollars anyway, but it's very cheap to get, and that allows you to run full VMware workstations. You can run the VMware Workstation on a physical server, because VMware only supports particular servers, particular brand of servers as well. It's very difficult. Plus, they don't actually run on workstations or pre-built PCs in this sort of what we're doing. So the only way to get around that is running Windows 10 with the VM Workstation over the top, which works exactly as good as the hardware builds. And at the end of the day, if you decide later on you want to have a physical server running VMware straight on it, you can take these virtual servers and migrate them straight over to that box as well. And if you've got a pre-existing VMware server running a server, it's getting old, and you want to put it on to something like we've just built here, which is nice, cheap and cheerful, and parts are easy to get hold of and replace, not like the days where you have to, like servers, you have to physically wait for parts to come in, or you have to wait for the engineer to come to site to fix it. It's downtime. This is why we're doing it, the build this way around. These can easily be moved over backwards and forwards as well. So you've got a pre-existing VM server, you want to come to something what we're doing here, then you can just copy it straight over. The software allows you to connect to another VMware server and allow you to migrate over, which I'm doing currently myself on my own system. So I'll show how that process works on another video we'll do a bit later on anyway. So we've built 3 virtual servers here. So we've got the the main controller, which is the Microsoft Exchange. We got a file print server, and this is all based on the new Microsoft Server 2016. And we've got the latest version of Microsoft Exchange installed. And then we've got a standard Microsoft Terminal Server. So I'm going to show this company here how we can use Terminal Server for remote desktops rather than having dedicated workstations running all the apps and stuff like that. We can also run virtual servers for each individual user if you wanted to. So as long as you've got lots of RAM in this box, lots of disk space, you can create like up to 10 machines, so one virtual machine per user, and you can do it that way around. This particular company runs a lot of counting software, so in this case virtual server will probably be terminal server will probably be okay, but some users will have certain products, some other users will have other products, constantly doing a lot of upgrading. So we might look at a really quick scenario of either using terminal server or using individual virtual machines for each user. Then that way all the data is stored on this server and it's off the local PCs. So it makes management and controlling it a lot more manageable and easy as well. So a quick look at these specs on here. So I've signed with the Exchange server. If it allow me to open it up while it does. So on here I've signed at 8 gig of RAM, 2 sort of virtual server processors, and I've given it a 400 gigabyte of disk space. So that's the main drive, which is plain enough for what they use, because the Exchange database file is about 30 gigs. But we can add another drive on here with additional space if we wanted to, which we probably might do anyway. So that's the Exchange server. The rest is sort of very basic. We've installed this virtual server, because this PC has lots of network cards in it. I think it's about 5 or 6. So far we've only teamed 2 network cards up, but we can add additional cards in there. These actually talk directly to the network card, which gets its own unique IP address from, and then we use the teaming software within Windows 2016 to do the teaming side itself, so it joins it all up. So at the moment we've got a 2 gig backbone connection speed to all the virtual servers, which is pretty nice. So hopefully we add the other 2 in there, gives us 4 gigs, so we can go up. We can install 10 gigabit Ethernet cards, but it means upgrading the cabling, also needs upgrading the switches at their end. Then you will only need 1 card for all can be used for all machines, which would be super fast. But those cards are really expensive, switches are expensive, but we may look at that. It's a possibility we can upgrade to it a bit later date. So in the file print server, I haven't done a lot on giving it a lot of speed and because it's a file server, so it doesn't need a lot. There's only like 10 users there, so it doesn't need massive amounts of RAM in it. I might push it up to 4 gig on this side, but because the 2016 server runs really well and it's built for virtual environments, it runs really nice and slick. 2 processors, 400 gig. That's normal standard for C. Because it's going to be a file print server, we're going to add an additional drive in here, virtual drive, where the user's going to be storing all their data, so that's probably going to be a little bit bigger. We know we've got a spare couple of SSD drives in this virtual machine, which we can dedicate them to this as a data drive for this one here. And then we've got 2 network cards teaming it up to 2 gigs. And again, we've got the same with the terminal server. With the terminal server, getting a bit more RAM, because if we've got multiple users on this, then you might want to assign more RAM within this environment, because we've got those 2 gigs to play with. I'll probably look at 8 gigs on that. If we add additional, we could probably take it up to 64 gig. So you could sign the terminal server if you're going to be running 10 users on there, because the more memory in a terminal server, the better. Because this is on Windows Server 2016, works really nice in a VMware environment. So you could get away. We could put up to 8 or 16 on this. Again, disk space then in massively higher, because it would only be storing applications only, no data. So that's the 3 we've built. So if we minimize that, so these are the screens. So this is the terminal server screen. So it's still going through the setup on that. So wait till that finishes. So this is all the features added into it. Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty quick. I mean, it responds very fast. I mean, I'm in the UK, and these servers are actually in the US. So over my broadband to their broadband, it's pretty damn quick. So nice and easy. You can see it's 4:19 AM in the morning, where here in the UK it's just lunchtime, 12ish. And then we've got the Exchange server here. It needs restarting. So just done the updates for it. This new Exchange server is running the latest versions. If I minimize that a second, Exchange Administrator. So now it's all web-based. Not quite sure about this, but obviously it's something we have to work with, and it's something new. So this is a new Exchange, web-based only, where the old version I'm normally used to working with is Exchange 2010. It has an application for it, but this is all web-based. So this should be much more slicker, much more faster, and this is designed more to run on VMware environments as well. So it should be done nice and quick, very quick for it as well. So there's that one. So, and we also then got the file print center here. So again, on here we just quickly go through local server, and as you can see, we've got Nic Teaming installed here. Enabled Nic Teaming. Should bring a window up. There you go, 2 network cards in there. Again, if we sign more network cards to the virtual environment, we can then add, we can team the network cards in here, creating more speeds. I mean, this gives us 2 gig of internet network speed. We've had 4 in it, gives 4 gigs and so forth. We've got a 10 gig Ethernet card. We can put that in there as well if we wanted to as well, making it super quick. So yeah, so these runs really nicely. So these, just get rid of that. And if we look at the spec, and oh, wrong one. Let's go back. Trying to find the folders now. Here we go. Under pressure because I'm recording it. So underneath here. So it shows we're running Windows Server 2016 standard. We don't need any extra. It's AMD. It's got it's got access to 4.72 gigahertz. So load balance and stuff. Installed memory 2 gig. That's good. We can change that anyway. And we've created this. We've got its own domain set up as well. So on the file and print server, it's just straightforward file and print. It's using the Exchange server for DNS, master domain, and we've also installed the secondary domain on the file and print here as well. Yeah, and DNS is on the Exchange, has to be on the Exchange anyway. And terminal server here, we'll do some stuff with that anyway. So we're going to do some more videos which will go in more detail as we get these customized and built. I'm just going to make sure all the updates are running on these boxes. This is the old server, which is what we'll be upgrading from. So this is a small business server 2011 standard. It's got hardware drive issue where everything's really sluggish and slow. So it's very important we get all the emails off of this box very shortly, and we can get this installed and migrated over to the new Exchange. So my next goal will be on here for next videos coming out, where we actually take the user's data from this Exchange server. We do a copy of it. We always do a copy because this is a live working environment, so we don't touch that. While the user's happy and working day to day, we can make copies of the data onto the new box, and then we can capture anything a bit later date anyway. So all I want to do at this next stage is take a copy of all the data, emails, all their files they use, put it onto the new system, and then we can get the manager there to log in as a user and just check everything runs nicely, login scripts are working, the map drives come up the same as they had before, they can access their data, all the rights are assigned correctly, and also they can open Outlook and receive the emails and stuff. And once he's happy with that, then we can set a date for downtime. Lucky enough, I work during the day, which is their night, so I can do all this during the day, which means they'll be in bed asleep. Migrate all the data across, I can do all the testing stuff, I can access their workstation using TeamViewer, log in and correct everything, so by the time the morning comes, they'll have a complete new network, carry on working as normal without any interruptions whatsoever. So it should be a complete migration over, and hopefully on their end it's going to be super duper absolutely fast. So if you like this video, please remember to put your thumbs up, and we'll get some more videos coming out very shortly. I know you guys are patiently watching and waiting for the next stage coming across, because you're also doing similar projects out there. Let me know questions, comments, put them below, and I'll make sure I include them in the next videos we're going to do. So I'll be speeding ahead on this because I like to get this project finished by the end of this month, so we'll get some more videos out of all the stages and progress and the migration, how I do it and stuff. I do it as quickly and easy. I keep things simple, because if you make it too complicated then it takes too long. And again, if you want to hand it over to someone else to administrate afterwards, you need to keep it simple. I always keep things simple. Other than that, so thanks guys, and don't forget that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and thanks to all the new subscribers so far, and speak to you on the next video. Cheers.